Welcome to another episode of Smoochie Town. And before we get to our guest today, he's a firecracker in and out of the sheets. Comedian, let me tell you something. It's the smooch of the week, not a drop of the week anymore, smooch of the week. So we're going to rewind it during COVID, okay? I went to a music festival, Dirty Bird, in Orlando, Florida. And I did a lot of stuff there, let me tell you. And I had a lot of fun. I'm not that person anymore. But I tried whippets for the first time. And whippets are essentially this thing you inhale through the mouth and then you don't know your name or where you are for about 35 seconds. And when I got back to LA, I was craving a whippet after dinner one time with my girlfriend, ex at the time now, shout out her. And on the way back to her apartment, we stopped by a smoke shop and I bought the device to do the whippet. It was a little like nitrous can and a little metal adapter, if you will. And you put it together and you inhale it. So we get back to her place. She's taking her makeup off in the bathroom. And I start going to town. And I did my first inhale. And I didn't know you're not supposed to put your mouth on the metal part. And it stuck to my lip. And I was panicking. In the inside of my lip, I ripped it off and a chunk of my lip came off. There was blood everywhere. It looked like a goddamn crime scene. I went in the bathroom. She was screaming. I was screaming. And mind you, it was during COVID, okay? So she takes me to a makeshift emergency room in a parking garage in Van Nuys. And I had to wait in line patiently behind 7 kids and their parents who all thought their kids had COVID because they had a little coffee waffy. I'm gushing blood. I get to the doctor finally. He gives me a shot to stop the bleeding. I have to explain how I came across this lip accident, and safe to say, no one got taken to Smoochie Town that night. That's a drop of the week, now a smooch of the week. Now, let's get our guest going right now. He is a comedian. He's a host. He is a Ford Bronco owner. Give it up one time for Michael Lenochi. What's up, buddy?
Thanks for having me.
Of course. What do you think about that smooch of the week? Have you ever tried to whip it?
No, I haven't tried to whip it, but I have notes. I have fucking notes. I mean, you loosen up a little bit. I think you could do a bunch of takes. Like, this isn't live.
Yeah.
This is recorded in case anybody's watching. How am I doing? Am I good on sound?
Yeah, great.
Okay. Yeah, I just think that we could do a couple different takes. I feel like, you could loosen up a little bit.
Loosen up?
How'd you feel about it?
I feel like I rushed it for sure.
Yeah, it was rushed.
For sure.
But we could have more fun. There could be different, like, cadences or different, maybe soften it up, go in and out of energy.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Like, have fun with it.
Yeah.
It takes time. You got to keep, how did you start? You said, you know what you need? You probably need some Xanax.
Bro, you know what? To be completely honest,
yeah.
I took an Adderall about an hour ago.
Yeah, I think we all know.
Because I was hungover, and I was like,
You're
fuck.
you're hungover?
I went to the hockey game last night.
Yeah, I've never seen you sober in my life.
Really?
Yeah, but in any comedy setting, you've always had like a White Claw on you. It seems like if you were an action figure, you would come with like a White Claw and like a vape thing.
Okay.
And then like you would pull the string on the back and you go, dude. Like that's what your thing would be.
Okay, what would the action figure be called?
Douchebag.
Douchebag.
Yeah, 100%. Dude, like you're like what? I go, oh, that's what they meant when people called me a douchebag. I was like, oh, he's the ultimate one.
I'm not though. Once you get to know me, I'm a good dude.
Yeah, but that's what all douchebags say, man. I would say that too.
Yeah,
that's what we say. We say, well, I'm a good dude. It's not that you're not a good dude. You're
just a douchebag.
You're a douchebag, and there's nothing wrong with that. You just own it, and I think you are owning it with the podcast, and you are on.
You have a podcast too.
Yeah, but it's like just a sports podcast. You know what I mean? Like you're doing a podcast about like I fucking made out with a chick last night and fucking it sucked. You know what I mean? Like it's like all right. I what's funny is I had a podcast when I was in my late 20s like you. And early 30s, and it was called Guys Night Out. And what a great branding name. Yeah. And we would read stories. People would write in stories. It was like doing pretty well. And people would write in stories about like their hookup stories, or they would need advice, or crazy stories. Like one that pops to mind, I remember this guy used to hook up with like this blind girl. Like crazy ass stories. And thank God we got rid of it and deleted it all.
What?
Because I think that...
You deleted it all?
Yeah, I think that like it wouldn't have aged well. It was pretty like the older I got, I was like, I can't have this. Like, it was.
Are you solving a puzzle back there, LJ? What's going on?
Yeah, LJ, what's going on? One of your cameras went up on one of the cameras went off. Yeah.
I had this backup one, but sorry.
Yeah, so right now you're just on the wide and me.
Yeah.
So it's fine. You'll edit around this. Do you edit the podcast too?
Yeah.
Cool.
He's good. He edits the clips.
Yeah, you're fine.
So we're good. So he was talking the entire time, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're good.
Yeah, we can cut it out anyways. Anyway,
Yeah. So I used to have something like that was fun, but no, but we could run through the intro again if you want to like go through it. Like it's like we could practice it if you want to do.
I kind of just like you fucking roasting me right off the rip.
No, I'm like if we want, we could like.
Oh, you want to do it again right now?
I could direct it.
Yeah, you want to direct the intro?
Like,
direct the smooch?
Like, but what's the theme of the intro? Like you had a story on your mind.
Yeah, it's usually of a recent date. I haven't been going on dates. It's usually a bad date, but I've been trying to focus on
So what
me.
did you just say this time?
So I took it back to like COVID times. You know, it's like
times.
a story. It's a funny story essentially every time.
So you're like, all right, let me take it back to a story from COVID. Like you could take a beat, you know? We don't have to rush it. Like I wasn't gonna sit here and be like, hey man, wrap it up. You know what I mean? Like, I was fine, you know, do your thing. But like,
yeah.
But also, you know, I would say that you could do like, hey, let's run it back and try some different things and see which one pops on camera better.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of editing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you know, do what you do. But like, what do I know? You know,
should we restart the pod? I'm confused.
No. I don't think you should restart it. But you could also.
Oh, when you leave, do another one.
Or like this is a funny episode. If there's a cut right now and it's you doing your new intro. That's a funny episode because now it's like people are watching and they're like, oh, is he gonna do it? And then now cut and it's just on you right now doing it.
All right.
With good post in the background though.
Well,
you got your voice off camera.
I'm not leaving the seat. Like you could. A funny editing skill would be like, all right, let's try it again, and we do it right now, and then bam, it goes, and you start your podcast again right here, and then I give a note, and then you cut to the wide, and I'm still here. That's funny.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
All right. 3.
Calm down, come on.
Yeah, 3.
Hold on, I think you should put your leg down.
All right.
Like kind of sit up. And
Oh,
be
okay.
like,
all right.
I'm also a firm, but I mean, it fits the theme of your podcast.
Mhm.
I give Anthony Storetti shit about this when he was doing his podcast. I go, you guys can't wear shorts on a podcast. But you have good leg.
I got some solid calves.
You have
dude.
Look
at these hand bones.
You have
bro.
hot legs. I
hot
definitely
legs.
think it's you kind of have ballerina posture with your
Yeah.
mannerisms with your legs, like the way you went like this. Like it was like, did you used to do ballet?
I dance.
You did.
I play football, but I'm a good dancer too.
You did ballet.
Not ballet.
What did you learn?
Hip hop, contemporary, musical.
This was like in
theater.
high school or college.
High school, prep school. I was in Legally Blonde, the musical. Am I on his podcast? I feel like he's interviewing me, and I
This
like
is
it.
how I do it. I take over.
You take okay.
This is how you win dates too with women. You take over the
Conversation.
You're in control.
Let's talk about that. How's dating?
No. We're doing the intro. We're doing the intro again.
Okay.
So then we would take a deep breath and then we're gonna go into it and be like, and I want you to kind of. I think this would read better for you because of you are a high energy guy. I think you go take a deep breath and you go, wait, what's it called again? The podcast?
Smoochie Town.
Smoochie Town.
Yeah.
You go, welcome back to Smoochie Town, guys. You know, just
Okay.
let's and then go into whatever your monologue is, but like feed it to the camera.
Sweet. All right. Welcome to another episode of Smoochie Town. And before we get to our guest today, who's a very funny comedian,
No. You know what? No, I don't like it. I want to take it back, and I want you to kind of just like take it in and be like, welcome back to Smoochie Town, guys. And like we're in your pad. This is yours, and it's a pleasure for us to be a part of it and just own it and be like, yep. You're welcome. We're here, and this is it.
You just cross your legs.
Yeah, but that's fine. I'm not the host. I'm just giving you a note. I'm saying you take it in. You're here. This is my spot. And then take a beat and then go, before I get into my guest, just kind of like own it. You know what I mean? Like, this is your kingdom, dude.
Yeah.
There's nothing to be worried about. There's no Adderall energy.
Yeah.
This is yours, dude.
All right.
And you fucking own it and you tell them and be like, listen, if you're watching this for the first time, that's because you're a fucking square. Because you didn't hear about this and you're late to the party. So why don't you go ahead and subscribe right now so you don't miss out on the other future parties. You fucking square loser bitch. Ho. You know what I mean? I don't know, something like that.
So okay, cool.
It just fits.
Yeah. All right, we'll take it back. Welcome to another episode of Smoochie Town. And if this is your first time hearing this podcast,
No, so we didn't take the note correctly. You remember we said, you're welcoming to the podcast, and then we're kind of taking a beat and going, welcome to the podcast. You know what I mean? Like,
say it again. Okay.
Like you're doing the intro of the Smoochie Town, and then just a little beat, and then start your sentence.
Okay.
Just I want that little beat.
Okay.
Like a
little beat.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Cool.
And like there's a little like just relax. Maybe do the breathing and then do it, but just relax a little bit. What are you doing over there? Because you're our only audience member, so we need a little like eye contact, okay? Do I have to fucking teach you guys how to do a podcast? Okay. It's fine. Are you just shopping on Amazon? What the fuck are you doing?
I'm moving storage around.
Okay. Well, do that on your own time, okay?
This podcast's getting a little long. I might need some extra storage. That's what I'm doing right now.
Okay, one more try. We'll do one more take of this.
All right.
All right, here we go.
Welcome to another episode of Smoochie Town. And if this is your first time listening to this podcast, grow up. Seriously, hit that subscribe button and let's have some fun. Before I get to my very exciting guest today, who's a firecracker on and off stage, let me tell you the smooch of the week. I fucked up.
Yeah,
it wasn't recently.
you know what? Well, it's fine,
that's
but
good.
at least we know going forward. We don't.
Is that good?
Yeah, it's different. I don't know if it's good. I mean, you
I
got
like the high energy.
You got to watch it.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily high energy. Maybe we could do a little mix of both, and that's going forward. But I just wanted you to try different things.
I love it.
It doesn't mean that.
So you like trying new things?
Yeah. Well, you have to. Every time you walk on stage, if you don't try something new, then you're a fraud.
Well, how'd you get into comedy?
I just started going up on stage, and I never stopped.
When?
In 2010.
2010? Were you in
Yeah.
Florida still or LA?
No, I was here. I left Florida and drove here to do it. And my first show was at the Hollywood Improv.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Were you always like the funny kid in high school growing up?
Yeah, I was one of them.
Yeah.
I never won class clown. Pissed me off.
Did you play sports?
Until like 15.
You played sports?
Until I was 15.
What sports?
Baseball and soccer recreational.
Really?
But in the streets, football was like my favorite.
Oh,
I was like a wide receiver or I played quarterback. Like in the neighborhood, I was like one of the better.
elusive.
Yeah. But and then, everybody started puberty and then I didn't. So I had to stop playing sports. So then
Really?
and then I moved to weed.
You were moving weed, like selling it?
No, I moved. I just started smoking weed and
Do you smoke a lot still?
no.
Really? What's
But
your vice?
What's my vice?
Yeah.
The NFL.
Like betting on them, or just
No,
like
just
watching sports in general?
Putting 40 hours a week into it.
Like
Like I rewatch the games and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Like I rewatch the Dolphins games like 2 or 3 times, and then I watch film, and then I watch all the sports shows, and I'll watch highlights of other games, and just kind of like I just I follow it so passionately and deeply.
You have a sports podcast too, right?
Yeah.
What's
It's like my dream job would be to just have a sports show,
Oh shit.
and
okay.
then like stand up. I also do stand up, but like it doesn't go hand in hand.
What? Like a Pat McAfee?
That would be cool. Yeah,
Right?
for sure. Like a Pat, but more like a Rich Eisen.
Oh, okay.
Where like I would
more
have,
informative.
I would
not
have,
like
I
a
would have,
douchebag?
I would have comedian guests on and stuff, and
Yeah.
we would keep it like, and they could talk about stand up, but like during the week we're covering the NFL.
Okay.
Yeah,
And then what got you? So you went to the improv for your first show, and then you just crushed, and like it's been rocking ever since. Or
I thought I did, but no, I didn't crush. I was probably bad for the first 3-4 years.
yeah. How old were you?
26.
So you were in Florida, and you drove out here. What were you
Yeah.
doing in Florida?
I was bouncing around sales jobs.
What kind of sales?
I was doing inside pharmaceutical sales was first,
Yeah.
and then I went to CBON for like 2 weeks. I got fired on training, and then I was doing health insurance.
Okay. Did you try to do your shtick like during the sale?
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
work
yeah,
on. Yeah.
In the cubicle realm of the sales floor, I was definitely, that's where I was thinking of my buddy who actually lives out here now, AJ. He was like, you should keep doing this, man. And I was like, yeah, you think so? He's like, yeah, it's funny. And then I was like, all right. I was like, and I always thought about doing stand up when I was in high school.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
enjoy drinking?
Do I enjoy drinking?
Yeah.
With the right people.
Hmm.
I don't drink alone.
No, that's weird. I feel.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you're depressed if you're drinking alone.
Yeah, like if it's like it's got to be like like even if someone's like like my buddy just texted, he's like, you want to go watch the FSU game tomorrow? I'm like, yeah. And then in my head I was like, yeah, you know what? Let's go meet at that Irish place on Main Street. Let's go watch it there. And then in my head I'm like, oh, I'm gonna drink tomorrow. So now
you plan it.
So it's in my head now. Like otherwise I don't really drink a lot. Like I see you guys at the club and then you guys go out, but I'm like, no, I'm just gonna go home and like do work. But like, because if I drink, it's like that fucks up my whole week.
Oh, really?
So that's why I like, I'll drink in the day on Saturday. And then I don't have a spot Saturday night, but maybe like I'll see where the night takes me. But at the very least, I could always just end up home, wake up early, watch football from, 9:30 a.m. till the nighttime when I have spots.
Do you have a spot you watch football at in Santa Monica?
Yeah,
you
in my
West
couch.
Side, yeah? On your couch? Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just
not a
I
sports bar guy.
I got 2 TVs and everything.
Oh, you got a good setup.
Yeah.
Well, panty dropper. Are you dating anyone?
No.
No.
I got what was that?
Well, panty dropper.
A panty?
Panty dropper, like of a place.
What
like
is
a
that?
nice place.
Oh, a panty dropper.
A panty dropper.
Oh wow. There's a language barrier here. Yeah. A panty dropper. I would think so, yeah. I think so. There's panties have been dropped. Yeah.
So what part of Florida did you grow up? Miami?
Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale?
Yeah.
And big Dolphins guy and full Italian, yeah? Lenoci?
No, half of it.
Half of it? Dad or mom?
And my mom's British. Was.
Your mom's was British?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
She's
She
dead.
lost the accent?
She's dead.
Oh,
That's people usually don't laugh at that.
I'm sorry.
People usually don't laugh when someone's mom's dead.
I'm sorry, bro.
This is the
I'm
cliff.
sorry.
This is the cliff.
Yeah.
It's okay. It wasn't your fault. I hope not.
When did she
But if
pass?
it was, that would
Yeah.
be weird if you brought me
Yeah.
on here to be like, hey, I'm like,
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna laugh
won.
when you say your
I
mom.
injected her with cancer. I'm like, you were the one?
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, she died of cancer?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have to say she was. I threw that into the podcast.
Because it's comedy.
For me.
Yeah.
Maybe not for, there could be some people watching going, and it reminded them of their trauma and they're crying.
I don't
And for
care
that,
about-
it's
I don't
like,
care
hey,
about that.
shut it. Well, see, and then that's the part where they would be, come on, you do care about that. Like if someone hit you up and was like, hey, your last episode with Michael upset me because it brought up some trauma for me, would you feel bad?
It's not my fault you got affected it by a certain way.
That's very true, but would you feel bad for them?
I'd feel bad for them, but I wouldn't feel bad for doing it.
Fair. But if they sent you like a heartfelt message, would you go, ah?
I take a sigh.
Yeah, me too.
I definitely sigh.
And that's the thing of like, let that out there. Let the people know that you would do that.
Oh, okay.
And it's good for safety. It's good to let people know, oh, he is human. He's not a narcissist.
Yeah, for
There's
sure.
a lot of them in this business.
Oh, for sure. What are some of your favorites?
Let me ask you something. Are
Yeah.
you just kind of like coming up with questions as we go?
No. I have a bunch written
Oh,
down.
nice.
Yeah.
Damn it. I was hoping to like just.
Yeah, I got you,
Slam
buddy.
What's up with you? Have I met you before? You have a familiar face.
I don't know.
It's LJ, a producer guy.
LJ.
I used to hang out with like Faisal a lot.
Oh,
He's
really?
in the comedy world.
Yeah. I've done some of his shows and here and there.
Johnny Mitchell, I've done some of his shows.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Wait, you do stand up?
I've done stand up.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I mainly just do this.
Yeah. All right.
So growing up,
Sorry about that. There's a guy behind the camera, and just wanted to give some context, but that there is another guy in here. It's not just us two.
yeah. What's worse, a Dolphins loss or dating in LA?
I mean, a Dolphins loss. Dating in LA is not. What
Dating
is
in LA
that?
sucks.
No, it doesn't. How so?
Every girl wants status and they expect. And
There's 9 million people in LA. Not every girl. Like, you just gotta find where you're looking.
well, you're single, so you haven't found it yet.
Yeah,
either.
because I'm having a blast. Okay,
Being single?
and I'm 39.
And
Like,
you don't want a girlfriend?
Do you know how? I mean, if it works out, like I know what to look for and what works. Like when you meet someone and then you're like, oh my god, what is that weird feeling? And then you want to hang out with them nonstop for like 4 days in a row. That's someone you should date. That hasn't come up. That's only come up like 3 times in LA. But there's other girls I do enjoy their company. But like, where in America, outside of New York, can you be 39 and enjoy being single? Miami, New York, LA.
Yeah.
If I was in, let's say, if I was in, like, even if I was in Austin, would be cool. Dallas, any big city is okay. But if I lived in fucking Tampa at 39 and I was single, it wouldn't be as fun, man. the pool of dating there would be very small.
There is an influx, I feel, of girls here versus guys. Like the market is better for guys.
Because there's 8 million people here. Yes, that is why more people are single longer here. There's so many options, and it's fun because you're like, all right, well, this didn't work out, but good thing there's millions of other women to choose from.
Yeah,
I'm not stuck. Like when people are like, oh, dating in LA, you're like, fuck off. No, it's not. You're a fucking moron. Okay. If you are having a hard time date, then you are stupid and not self-aware, and you aren't being present in the moment of like, hey, stop going to fucking hide and trying to make a girlfriend from one of those girls. Maybe that's your problem. Don't go to fucking
How dare you assume I go to hide?
Don't
Barney's, yes.
Barney's Beanery and find some 24-year-old who's like, I just got to LA. She's fucking retarded, okay? What are you doing? You want to fucking date a girl. You find a girl who's like, hey, what do you do? She's like, I'm 29. I've been doing this. I love my job. This is what I do. This is my passion. This is where I see myself in 5 years. Oh, that's someone who has their head on their shoulders. They know what they want. That's someone who's ready to date.
Where do you
know
meet
what I mean?
these girls?
They're all over. Apps, anywhere. You just have to fucking find
You're on the apps?
Yeah, all of them.
What's your favorite? Every one of them?
No, just 2.
How much time do you spend a day on those apps? Because I think it's very time consuming. I
mean,
don't even end up messaging the girls. I'm on Raya and like I'll message them. I won't message them. I'll match with them, but then it never goes anywhere.
Raya I do well on Raya. I don't know why. And,
it's probably a comedian. Girls love comedians.
I guess so, because I see what girls what we're going up against on Raya. I've seen like a girl's profile. And I'm like, everyone who's famous is on there. Like the most famous, every athlete is on there, just flying girls out wherever because they're athletes. And I'm like, how am I doing well on here? I think it's that I'm starting to get some grays or something. I don't know, maybe.
Oh, silver fox action.
Yeah, maybe. But like, I think that I don't know. It's just like, listen, there's certain girls I like. Am I a guy and I'm on that app and I see a girl and I'm like, oh, she's hot, and I'm thinking, I'd love to sleep with her. Yeah, I'm doing that too, obviously, because I'm a guy. But like, obviously, there's certain women I look at, I'm like, oh, she looks like something that I would want to get to know. And then sometimes you meet them and you're like, oh, she's got a weird laugh, and then you're out, right, or something, whatever. But my whole motto, I guess, with dating, and I would always tell my friends this, so you don't put all your eggs in one basket, is I keep going. Like I'm always swiping and meeting a girl and texting until I find one that stops me. Like that's how I've always ended up dating. Like I've been like, hey, you want to go grab a drink? You want to date? And then if I have a connection, I'm like, oh, this is kind of stopping me. Okay. Like she has my attention, and then if we keep texting, but like it's hard to find that sometimes because they're also doing the same thing too. Yeah. Like I met this girl recently, and we went on a walk. Right, we met for a walk because I live in Santa Monica. It's great. It's okay. Like let's go on a walk to the park.
Isn't your first date usually Target? That's your favorite?
Target.
Why do you
tried that with one and it didn't? And
you said it's your favorite, right?
But it is. I mean, that's a great thing to do.
Why?
Well, think about how cool.
It's an expensive date. I can't leave Target without spending $300.
Well, then that's. I'm not spending $300. I'm just going through it. Maybe I'll pick something out. But like, how fun would that be? Think about that. Like, if some
girls walking around the aisles,
if some girls like, yeah, I'll go to Target. That's like a best friend already. You're already a best friend. And you're like, and then you're just like, because you're talking. It's just a suggestion. If a girl's willing
Are you actually shopping or just walking around?
I don't know. I've never actually done it.
Oh.
I just said I have.
Oh, okay.
I've offered it to a girl though. There was one girl you want to go to Target? She's like, yeah, I'm down. I was like, this is great. And then I was like, all right. And
she blew you off at Target.
I thought she lived on the west side. She's like, I live in Los Feliz. And I was like, I can't go there.
Yeah.
Target's over there. That's an hour away.
Yeah.
And I was like, never mind. And then I hit her up again and she never responded. So it was like, whatever. I blew her off. But she was like.
Definitely wasn't the Target suggestion.
But I've used that line as a bit because it's funny.
Yeah.
It's an opening. It's a great line for dating apps. Like, would you want to go to Target with me?
Oh, that's an opening. Oh, yeah, see, mine's too fuckboy. I say, you know what's interesting about your photos? And then they'll be like, what? Enlighten me. Tell me. And everyone responds. Yeah. And I say, I'm not in any of them. And then half of them respond, haha, that's funny, this and that. Half of them don't respond. And it keeps dwindling. And then I end up never meeting them.
Yeah, well, can I give you advice? That's fine, I guess. That's fine, but it's just like it's such like a
cheesy,
a dad thing. Yeah, you know what I mean. I kind of always go. You can take this, but it's not great, but it works. I always like. Let's say I match with. Give me a name.
Sabrina.
So I match with Sabrina. I go, hi, is Sabrina there? Question mark. And
You
then,
type that in?
yeah. And she goes, she is. Or they'll do like, please hold. And they play with it. And I go, oh, great to get a hold of you finally. Just kind of like I've done this a few times. Sometimes I get no response. I'll be like, would love to set up a potential meeting about possible business relationship with you. If you'd be like, I keep it like formal like that. And then it plays around. But I always go, what are you up to? And then they'll say something, and I go, so what area are you in? And they'll say like somewhere close, like you usually know it says on the app. I go, and then I quickly go to, well, we should hang out, obviously. And they go, obviously. And I go, what's your number? I get off the app. Get me off the app.
Yeah, as quick as possible.
Because they feel more comfortable texting with someone. And then I like to FaceTime.
Really? Off the rip?
Well, I mean, I've done it a few times, and it's gold. Because now
so you get
know
their number
someone.
and don't even text them.
No,
Hey, here comes a FaceTime.
No, we're texting them like we should. You set up the FaceTime, but then when you FaceTime with them, it's kind of like a first date. It's not. Hey, women, it's not a first date, but like it's like you're getting that intro out of the way where they're like, oh, I know the guy now.
Yeah,
they know the
That's
personality
cool.
and they get to know you a little bit, and then there's.
So do you say want to FaceTime? Because that sounds creepy to me.
Well, when you're texting and there's a vibe, it can't be like, oh, what are you up to? Good. 2 hours later, she's like, oh, just running errand. It's not like one of those.
Okay.
It's like you're going at it for like all day, and then maybe like, yo, let's FaceTime later.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, you're a psychopath. And you're like, I know it's crazy, but like, why not? Like, what are you scared of? You know what I mean? Like, if she's saying no, you're crazy. Like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Like, this is so much easier. And then
I want to go back to what we said off camera and wanted to save it. You said, I think Mark Hayes. Wait, who was it? Oh, Benedict.
Okay.
Benedict told me.
Is he here right now?
No. He's in Indianapolis filming a video. He goes back there like every 2 weeks to film his videos. And I was like, well, you can film them here. He's like, nah, everything is like set up there. That's why he never wanted to move here because
he has like a podcast there too. Doesn't he do a podcast
he's
with Joey?
He's going to do his podcast here now. I don't know with Joey. That may be Zoomed or whatnot. But yeah. But anyways, I was like, yeah, Lenochi's cool and stuff. I don't think he likes me. That's why I said that to Benny. And Benny was like, no, he just doesn't understand you, I don't think. Because like he doesn't know, like, is he pursuing comedy? Is he what? Because I see him in commercials. Like, I don't know. So what was your opinion on me?
Wait,
because I used to see you around green rooms. I saw you around a couple green rooms and like in passing, but it wasn't anything like.
No, I think I met you through like Anthony, a haha show or something.
No, it was Bryson Banks at the lab show when I first met you, and then we did another one at the haha and talked more. And then I saw you at the Laugh Factory green room.
I go, this guy's out of his mind. I go, this guy's out of his fucking mind.
What?
I think you were like just out of your mind. You were like fucking wasted.
Oh, really?
I think so. Or like maybe you're like Adderall out. You're like, and I was like, and I'm just like kind of like chill. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Yeah, but part of it is also like, I don't know. You meet so many new people all the time. You're like, what is this character in the scene now? Like, what are they? And then no, we hung out at the haha, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, what's up? And then we talked for a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think the first time I guess, yeah, was it Bryson? I mean, the first time it was like briefly. You were just like wasted. I was like, oh, this guy's wasted, and I wasn't.
Yeah.
And that was it. And I was just like, and in my head, I was like, oh, this is just like literally like a young version of me.
Okay.
Like just he's out of his mind, like having a blast, just is here to like just chase women and get fucked up. And I was just like, I can't be around this energy right now because,
And what's your opinion now? Same.
It's the same. Like, I wish I had the energy to keep up with you and hang out. I'm just like so old.
Yeah.
I know I'm not so old. I'm not fucking playing that card. I'm just like when you guys are all like after shows, we're like, we're gonna go to Barney's. I'm just like,
you were gonna come the other night.
In my head, I'm like, I'll be miserable. The whole time I'm there, I'll be miserable. Like for me to go to Barney's, I have to already be drunk and then I'll go. Like, so that's just how it's gotta be for me. And like, I'm not going out unless I'm drunk.
Yeah. So what do you like to do? Watch football?
Yeah.
Chill. What do you get out of watching the replays of football games?
I want to see who's making mistakes.
And do you fucking call up the coach? I love the new coach. I love that.
I'll tweet. Or
what's his name?
I'll tweet and I'll talk about I'll be like, I'll be like, this part doesn't look good. That doesn't look like, I don't know. I like to just like know and yeah, like
be a consultant.
Part of my dream wants to like, I want to be so successful that I'm outwardly being like, I would like to be the GM of the Miami Dolphins. And is that possible? Probably not, like less than 1%. But listen, I'm 39. If I got another 39 more years, what else can I do?
Yeah.
You know, this is just the first part of my life. Maybe the second part of my life, I'm like fully like buttoned up, suit, like going, all right, I've learned. I take the next 20 years, I learn about the business of the NFL. Look who are GMs, ex-players. You're telling me
That's
these
true.
fucking mush heads can become a GM? You know what I'm saying? Like what? Like why can't I learn how to do it?
He's a
later in
huge
life?
Vikings guy. He has a Vikings podcast.
I mean, you have a Vikings podcast, so you get it. So I used to do like a Miami Dolphins podcast, but I'm like, nah, I want it to be broad. I specifically do Miami Dolphins recaps, but I also we recap. I'll have like Anthony off screen, and we go through the games of the week, and we're like, all right, and I go, here's what I've watched. You know, if there's some games I didn't see, then maybe I'll watch some of the highlights but I'll have an idea of what happened in the game, like who played well in that game and who's doing well. And, you know, even going back to, 3 weeks ago when the Vikings, 4 weeks ago, we were sitting there looking at the schedule. And I go, well, if they win this game, I go looking at their schedule, I go, I'm going to say it right now on the podcast right now. And I said to Anthony 3 weeks ago, I'll say it right now. Vikings are going to make the playoffs. I said it. And
they're doing very well.
Well, the thing is Cousins got hurt. So we'll see now. But they're the next 3. If Cousins was healthy right now, he'll tell you their next 4 games they would be favored to win.
I mean, even with Dobbs, we're fine.
I think that yeah. Who are your next 3 games? Like, right? It's like all winnable games.
It's like all. I think we start at conference games, right? So I think we're like actually.
They're-
Well, if Saints next,
But that will be a closer game. But like with Cousins, you would be like they're gonna win this for sure. And for their slow start, they started off 1-3, and it was like the NFC's so weak they're gonna make the playoffs. So, stuff like that. But when you do specific to the Vikings, then you're only getting that audience. A big goal of mine of why I started this was, like I'm touring and doing one-nighters, but the idea is to kind of have a big enough fan base of football fans, specifically Dolphin fans, so that when I do the road, I'm doing shows for a huge amount of Dolphin fans. And that I can also maybe do like a podcast show too. So there's 2 shows. Like, hey, I'm doing stand-up show is the 10 p.m., but the 8 o'clock we're doing a live podcast show about football. And that would be my dream tour, because already this year I planned show dates around the Miami Dolphins schedule.
Wow.
Their away schedule. So like I went to that Buffalo game on the road. I was going to do the Jets game for Thanksgiving weekend, but I moved the New York date. But like, I try to, ideally I would love to be big enough to be like, all right, here's the Dolphins away schedule. And I send it to an agent. I go, do what you got to do. And there's just there's literally road dates every Saturday for whatever city they're playing in. Cause I go, I have a plug for the Dolphins who gives me tickets. So I get free tickets every time.
Do any of the players follow you?
A couple of them, yeah.
Really?
A few of them. In the NFL, just not only Dolphin guys.
No, I'm saying, like, do they see your comments and be like, "Oh, I'll try next
No,
week"?
because that's a separate account. I haven't really. I don't mix my Instagram to that page yet, because it doesn't cross over yet, and it's not big enough. But I think over time I will, because it's just they don't do well. But
who's your main audience on Instagram? Like
just comedy
fan-wise?
crowds.
Is it girls, guys?
No,
Like
I've really done a good job. It's at like 68% men now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that what you want?
Yeah, of course.
What's your
Because they spend money.
What's your craziest? Because for some reason you said it at the show that you invited me on at the Rec Room. You have bad luck with audiences, and how they just like to heckle. They go there to heckle you, and it's like,
I don't know. It's just
it's so
happened a few
annoying.
times,
So
yeah.
what's the craziest heckling story?
There was one at the Rec Room last time I was there. There was one in Philly. I mean, the craziest one was the most recent one that went viral in Vegas, where me and this guy were just straight up arguing. I was like, I'm not gonna do stand up. I was like, what? And like it went viral everywhere. Like on
What did he
Twitter.
do?
Like he was just like talking, and I was ignoring, and I was like, and then I went into him. I was like, all right, we're gonna be quiet, right? Because I'm gonna do the show. And he's like, yeah. And then like we're going, and then I'm doing my bit, and as I'm doing the bit, I can just hear them, and eventually that bothers me so much, because I'm like, I can't ignore it. Some people can. And at this point, I'm like 5 minutes in. And that's where my video on YouTube picks up at that point. I go, hey, what are we doing? I've already like kind of went into this. And he's like, what, man? Do your thing. And I go, I can't, man. Because I've already kind of talked to you about it. And then like you were talking during that whole last bit. and it's mentally taking me out of it, and then I'm not having fun, and then I'm not performing as well, so then I look like I'm not doing good, and I'm not gonna let that happen. So I'm gonna address why this is happening. He goes, well, I can't talk. I was like, no, you can't talk. That's just like, this is a live performance. He goes, why? I go, and then as he goes, freedom of speech, and like that whole clip went viral on everything, like everything. I've never had something go this viral. And then I go, freedom of speech. Oh, who'd you vote for? It's just because I thought that was funny, right? Not implying anything. I don't care about politics. And I was like, oh, who'd you vote for? I go, I said, he goes, it's freedom of speech. I could talk. And I go, freedom of speech. I go, this isn't what? I go, I wonder who you voted for. That's what I said.
Yeah.
And then he goes, he's like, oh, and now we start arguing. I go, shut the fuck up. I go, are you fucking kidding me? I go, you think this is, hey, hold on. Let's take a step back. I go, you think this is a normal interaction at a comedy show? I go, the way you're acting right now. And like, we were just going in. I go, hey man, I don't have to do jokes. I go, you're a fucking insane asshole, dude. And we're like, just going at it. And people are like watching, and I go, and like they're all like, what's going on? Like, straight up, like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care. Like, I've been doing this so long. I'm like, listen, maybe some people, like even some people in the comments were like, why didn't he just like roast him and continue to do his show? I was like, I don't give a fuck. This isn't for you. I'm not a clown. You didn't fucking hire me to do this. I'm on stage for myself. This is my art, and you just so happen to want to see me do my art. So fuck off. And part of my art is being a fucking asshole on stage then. Because I'm gonna fucking be an asshole to that. Like, because I'm not gonna let you fucking sink my ship. Like, get the fuck out of here. So I mean, I put that online. Like, there's a whole video. It's like 8 minutes long. Like, I'm arguing for 8 minutes.
That is nuts.
Like, I'm not doing stand up. We're just straight up. There's no like.
Were people laughing at all? Or like,
some people
crazy.
Well, they're like, oh, because I go. Are you guys fucking like? I go. You guys are mentally ill. I go. How many fucking uncles molested you? I go. That's what's going on. And like, some people are mad that I made those type of jokes. I go. You're a fucking moron. And then eventually, the security goes, do you want me to kick him out? I go, no. 4 more minutes. And then I didn't kick him out. They end up leaving. And he's like leaving. And I go, yo, suck my fucking dick. And I grab my balls. And he goes, fuck you. And we're going. And I thought maybe he was going to rush the stage. And he was a big guy. He would have whooped my ass.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But like, we like straight up, it was like 8 minutes of arguing. But I think that's why it went so viral, because people are like, they've never seen a comedian just like straight up. Like,
what were the comments like in your
it was,
favorite?
Yeah. But there's always some, like, some were like, this
been the bigger
this
man.
isn't funny. Yeah, he's not even funny. I was like, I don't care. It went viral, like, because like the liberal media picked it up, and some guy on YouTube shared it, and it got like 1 million on YouTube, and it was like comedian destroys MAGA couple. So, and then people are loving it. And then that's what it was on Twitter. It hit like 1.4 million. On Facebook, it hit like on Facebook, it hit like 2 million. On Instagram, it hit like 5 million. And then like on YouTube, it's like at 1 million. And then my personal one's at like 60,000.
Wow.
But like, so many people saw. So obviously there's going to be mixed people saying like, who the fuck would just argue? And I'm like, well, that's what I do. Like, every comic's different, but like, I just like to argue.
Yeah,
I love to, like, I was like, oh,
you're good at it.
Yeah,
You're good at taking control of conversation in podcasts. For sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I got to make it entertaining.
So that was in Vegas. Where's your favorite place? Where's your favorite place to perform? Would you say? Like, what's always a good fucking crowd?
It's never always good. I mean, unless you're opening for someone famous.
Yeah,
it's always good. Because there's it's a fan base. There's nothing better than opening up for a famous person, because the fans they bought tickets months ago. They're so excited. They're wearing the shit. They're like, yeah, we're here. And they're just so excited. It's the best crowd. And you're never going to get that. Where I'm at a level where I do a show and maybe there's 20 people that know me, and then there's 20 walk-ups. And it's just like, this is the grind. That's what it is. And then in Hollywood, I mean, my favorite place is Laugh Factory, probably. Yeah. Like, it's just the best room. It's just cake. It's electric. It's easy. Yeah, if you can't do good on that stage, you shouldn't do some stand-up. It's just a great room. And then, but the city's like, I thought I liked Philly for a while, but like the last couple experiences in Philly have not been what it was.
I feel like they'd be judgy. Like, when douchebags, like Philly fan base.
Fun.
Philly fans suck.
Sure, but I always had fun there because they got me. Like, I remember my memories from.
You look like you're from Philly.
Yeah, my memories from Jersey were great. I've always related to those people. Yeah. I've always loved Jersey and New York because they kind of are like our thick-skinned people. So I always enjoyed that. But I always like Florida a little bit because I'm from there, and I know so many people. Like, like the Tampa show, like I'll probably know 30, 40 people personally. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Like I know so many. Orlando, I'll know people in the South Florida. I'll know hundreds. You know, like
Yeah.
South Florida can do great. But you know, the cities that are fun. I mean, Phoenix is also always fun, and I like Chicago. I like all the big cities, man.
Yeah.
Dallas, they're all fun.
What would be the best advice you were to give to someone like me, like up and coming? Here we go. On like a comedy career, like
Yeah,
how
you straighten your hair.
straighten my hair. You like the curls?
No, it's cute. I don't know. I mean, you just have to.
Not me personally, just in general.
You
Let's not
wanna
get.
switch-
Let's not.
you wanna switch it. You want.
Let's not just get to me. We'll do that off camera. But well, no, actually,
why?
you
It's
can
fun.
give me personal advice and then give me broad advice. And if it's the same thing, it's the same thing.
Personal advice for you would be, you know, hone in and figure out what you really want to do,
Yeah.
because it's clearly, obviously, that you're just figuring it out right now. But you're only 28.
Okay.
You know, you're everywhere. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got to like hone in and be like,
Well, I want to do everything. I want to act. I want to host. I
Sure,
want to do comedy. I want to.
sure, we all do, but like you got to hone in on like, okay, this is going to be the best avenue to get to all of that.
Got you.
That's how I think. And you know, you take everything with a grain of salt. No, nobody is right. People do everything, but if you get great at one thing, then you can open up doors to other things. You know what I mean? Like, look, like Michael Yo started off as a disc jockey, right? He was like he worked for a radio show in South Florida, Y100, and then he went into hosting, and he was hosting on red carpets, and that was good. He was very good at hosting and interviewing people, and then he went into stand up. And then stand-up he started doing well with, and then he went into acting. But he had the dreams of doing everything, right?
Yeah.
Kevin Hart went through stand-up, and then he went to acting. And then he went to other things. You know what I mean? Like, you find out what your avenue is of like, where am I going to get, what am I going to do the best, and how am I going to be the best at it? You know what I mean? Like literally, I just put, like, eventually I was doing that when I was younger. I was like, I'm acting. I was in the acting classes hours per week. I was working at this acting school. I would vacuum, I'd file papers, whatever I could do to go for free. And I was in acting class with everyone. But our acting class, I had like, it'd be me, Theo Vaughn,
No way.
Brady Matthews. Yeah.
Where at?
It was John Rosenfeld studio.
Roosevelt. Yeah, right up
Yeah,
Fairfax, dude.
Yeah, fucking Adam Ray,
Yeah.
Francisco Ramos. I remember one time we were in acting class. It was me, Francisco, Brady Matthews, Theo Vaughn, and John was just like, I gotta separate you guys, because we were just like fucking horsing around so much. And but like John's worked with a lot of comedians over the years, so he knows all of them. Every stand-up comedian for the most part has worked with John.
Do you recommend the class?
Yeah. I mean, you could find your teacher. Like, eventually, like, now that I'm older and I look back on it, like, you got to find who, like, I would work with this girl Brittany a lot, because like I just took notes from her and I worked with her well. Like, I couldn't work well with John.
That's
you know
so
what I mean?
true, dude.
You got to find your teacher or who you work well with there. But I worked there for years, and he always helped me. He's like, you know, I'll give you the scholarship, and then I was just like, after a while, I was like, I'm putting so much time and effort into that. And then I was making YouTube videos and doing like little shows and producing shows to get to meet comic. And then I was just like, yo, let me just do stand up. And then, like, obviously part of that evolves into, I'm still doing these other shows, but like stand up's my main purpose of like how I'm going to get into things. And then that did help me get acting credits. Right.
Yeah.
Because then I got to Montreal, and then I met casting directors. And then through casting directors, I was auditioning. They knew me. They like you. And they're like, we want to get you in. Come on, we're going to try. Eventually, like, I auditioned for a show so many times. They're like, you know what? We're just going to write you a part. And they wrote me just to get me into SAG. They're like, hey, we're going to write you 3 lines just so you can get in a TV show. And then,
Are you still auditioning and stuff?
well, hopefully.
Sad right now, the strike's ended, but
so
do you
it's
want
done.
to continue acting too, or is it strictly stand-up? Right?
No, I do, but I'm not chasing it.
Okay.
Like, it's like sure, like, oh, there's an audition. I'll be like, what's it for? Cool. Yeah, let's I'll put myself on tape for it.
Okay.
And then I have like my you know, routine of like how to do it and stuff like that. But like, I'm not gonna like I don't want to do the class. I just don't want to like, I don't want to get good at it right now. I want to like just still get great at comedy. You know what I mean? Like, if like I've told the guy I know, I was like, yeah, send me out for co-stars and guest stars all day. I don't really care to go out for like a series regular or something.
Oh wow.
You know what I mean? Like, just co-star, guest star. Let's make money. I just want to make money.
Okay.
Let's make money, and then it's a day of work and I'm in and out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to get stuck and be working 40 hours a week on a television show.
Mm-hmm.
Because then that's going to take away.
We could
from
stack
stand-up.
that bread,
What?
become a name, and then people would come to your shows.
Maybe, but I don't think it works that way anymore. I don't think, people on a television show sell out like they used to in the 90s and 2000s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that getting to a point where, like at Matt Rife, if they were like, hey, we want to give you a sitcom and we're going to do 24 episodes pilot for NBC.
Right now, he wouldn't.
And we're going to give you $1 million an episode, he would still lose money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, that's why we're in a world where, these comics are so big that television, they'll lose money now.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think that becoming big on a television show won't help sell tickets like it used to.
Yeah.
I think it's just like content of stand-up and stuff like that. Would it be fun? Maybe, but acting, come on, it's boring.
Yeah,
You're sitting around,
hurry up and wait.
You're sitting around
yeah.
for fucking 5 hours,
Yeah.
and then you do your take, and then you're doing your take 4 times, and then you don't have the freedom because you're nobody to be like, no, let me try this. And they're like, what do you mean, let me try this? I'm like, oh, okay. You're like listening to them because you're just a guest star or co-star anyways. Like, it's not your show where you go, like, I want to do it. Like, you know what I mean? There's no creativity behind what you're doing.
Yeah.
And it's also like, you don't have to be great at it. Once you've
Bro.
been
If
on
you got a
set,
pretty face to him, if you can say lines
well,
believably.
bro, it's all editing and directing. Like, the only time you have to be a great
So
actor
are
is when
podcasts.
the only time you have to be a great actor is like when you're like doing a fucking monologue and you're like in a serious movie and you're doing a scene that's intense, that's like that needs like range and like emotion. But like when you're doing a comedy, you're like, all right, I'm gonna do this 5 times.
Yeah.
Say, grab me some coffee 5 different ways. Hey, grab me some coffee. Hey, grab me some coffee. Hey, can you grab me some coffee? There's 3 takes. Whichever one looks better, go. We're done. It's that simple. I just did 3 different ways. You know what I mean?
But that's why I hate the self-tape aspect of auditions, because I like to go in a room and win the room over, And
of course.
and
yeah.
rather they show the personality and stuff. But self-tape, you can do it for an hour. I have one buddy that I put on tape for a fucking 1 page. Co-star, it takes an hour because he's just like, it's like he wants to get it perfect. I'm like, if you have to think about it too much, then like you're getting in your head.
Slate it. Yeah.
When you say words too much, it sounds weird. Like, oh my God. If you say that too much, it's like, oh my God. Like, it just sounds weird.
Yeah. No, I always try to get in there. But I mean,
But back to the comedy advice. To be a better comedian, what would you say? How are we at time, by the way, LJ?
55.
All right, sweet. We'll go.
you have to
be a better comedian, what would you say?
You just have to keep taking chances.
On stage?
Yeah. You have to just keep trying things, and then you just keep trying things on stage. And then you got to pay attention and find it. And then there's no really advice to give. Like, you just keep going up, and then you can either you figure it out or you don't.
Yeah.
And if you can't figure it out, then you're just fucking stupid. Like, just listen to what's working and pay attention to it. You know
I cold opened for the show, your show the other night at the Improv, and that was one of the few times I was dead sober. Didn't smoke weed, didn't drink or anything.
Yeah, you should always.
And it
be
was
sober.
one of my better. It was probably one of the best sets, and it was a cold open, which is the toughest part.
Yeah.
So I'm not drinking before my shows anymore.
No,
because,
never. Yeah, I
was
did.
sharper.
Yeah, I can't. That fucks me up if I have even a couple drinks. I'm always off.
Really?
Yeah, I can't speak clearly or anything. Yeah, I fuck up for sure.
Who are your favorite comedians?
Now?
Mm-hmm.
None.
Really? Do you not watch stand up?
No,
Benny
I
said
don't.
it too, that if he watches it, he will want to become like their style.
Yeah, that used to happen a lot when I was little, and I realized that. But like, I don't watch specials or anything. Like, I'll peek at like who's on stage before me, maybe a little bit, or like who's going on like maybe after if we're on the same show. But I don't enjoy it as much. That's kind of the sad part about it. I mean, it's refreshing when I see like a young guy I've never seen before. That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
But like I like maybe if Louis popped in, I'd be like, oh, let me go watch him. But like I've seen Chappelle so many times, Bill so many times. They're great. Don't get me wrong. I just don't want to watch comedy anymore.
So do you think
I don't want any influence at all.
Yeah.
I just want to like do my thing, and I just don't care. Like it's not like the NFL for me. You know what I mean? That's what it is. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't like a mega fan of stand up. I just like doing it a lot. I love doing stand up. And I always like the idea of doing it and wanting to do it. And when I grew up, I loved Carlin, like George Carlin and Chris Rock. I would see them on HBO, and that influenced me. But really, a lot of my influences were Will Ferrell on SNL, Jim Carrey,
would you
Robin
want to be on
Williams.
SNL?
There was a time.
I love.
There was a time when I
Yeah.
wanted to, for a little bit, but then it was just like The Simpsons. Like, there's different things that were influences for. I mean, Tom Green was the biggest influence in my life,
Really?
for sure. Like
Is that the
was,
sausage guy and Freddy Got Fingered?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what your reference to Tom Green was?
But what else has he been in?
The Tom Green Show?
Have you watched it?
I mean, I love it because I'm like into it.
Yeah,
He's the first like.
he was the first like you don't know about the Tom Green Show?
No. No.
Oh my god! Like, he was the biggest influence for me, and I got to eat with him one time at
Oh, really?
Swingers. Yeah, we follow each other, so that was cool.
Let's go.
I think it probably got back to him that he was one of my biggest.
Who's your biggest
influences.
follower, Tom Green? What'd you say?
My most
Biggest
famous follower?
Yeah. What'd you say? You
No.
definitely know.
Who
is it? Beyonce?
There's a few. No, Aaron Paul's one of them.
No way.
Christian McCaffrey.
That's a big one.
There's a few athletes on there.
His
There's
wa-
sometimes people you're like, oh, he follows me. Like comedians,
Yeah.
but like comedians still kept. But like, I guess like most famous celebrity I guess Aaron Paul's pretty famous.
Yeah, I would say Aaron Paul.
From
Christian McCaffrey too. is
Christian
pretty well known.
McCaffrey's pretty cool. Then there's like what other athletes? There's some like gotta be. There's a few Dolphins that do. So that's
A lot of girls
exciting.
slide in your DMs.
do go slide in, but it's it's always like it's not a fucking dime.
You said something. I saw a clip. It was
It's
like
not a dime.
a girl was like, "Let's hang out after," and you were like, "You can't be hot. Hot girls don't say that. Hot girls don't yell out that."
Like
Sentence.
sometimes you get one surprising. You're like, oh, you're like,
What's this little
what's up?
treat?
We should hang out. And they're like, yeah, and I was like, and like I got a panty dropper in Santa Monica. Yeah, I mean it definitely it used to happen way more when I was younger, I guess, but now it's like it's a little different. And I don't really slide in.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'll like reply to a story, but in my head I'm like, they're not gonna
They're not
respond anyways. You know what
It's
I
a
mean?
game. I hate the game of dating, dude.
I remember talking to one of these girls who had like, a few 100,000 on there, and she's like a model. And like they're getting DM'd by like professional soccer players, like European, like
Soccer's a sexy sport.
bro. But like
It's a bitch
those guys
sport.
are also rich. Like they're talking about like I remember one girl was telling me who's the most famous Brazilian soccer player?
Ronaldinho?
No, the name with an N or something.
Oh. Naval.
One of them was like, he's hit me up and offered to fly me out. You're like, what do we do? Like, why are you even trying? Like, these girls are getting hit up by like these European gazillionaires.
Yeah,
You know what
LA's
I
I
mean?
think is made for that.
Yeah.
LA's made for older guys, rich guys, and younger girls.
yeah.
So might
but-
as well just focus on you. And
But also,
build
it's
your
like
career.
that's not a girl. They're not gonna. That's like a girl who's like posting and has hundreds of thousands of followers and like is hot as shit. Like, do you know how exhausting and awful it would be to date her? Like, that would be a nightmare. You're gonna comfortably be like, I love you, babe. All right, see you later. Like every day, someone's trying to steal her from you. Like, what? That's not worth it.
But
That's
not
worth it.
caring, having the self-confidence and no insecurity of not caring
Hey,
is
bro.
more attractive.
She fucking cares. If she's doing that, she's looking for the next best thing. You think you're her trophy guy? She's not 36 ready to settle down. A 25-year-old bikini hot girl. Oh, I'm secure with her. Sure you are, dude. If Leo was like, come over, you think she's saying no? Like, what's the point? What are we doing?
So why even fucking date or hit them up or do
that
anything?
you don't. You would just
So what do you
it to
do?
be like,
How do you have sex?
it would be cool to have sex with them, sure, but like they're not like that's not a girl you would do. That there's no reason to pursue that and try to date that girl. That's just like not a logical person. That's a narcissist. A fucking person posting like fucking like in a bikini like you're looking into the sky like
Yeah.
what like you're doing a photo shoot. Well, I make money, it's my job. Fuck off. Like you're a crazy person. You're
Yeah.
not a person in society. What are you gonna do when you're 50? Nothing, because you're not going to have to, because some idiot who's rich is going to marry you and take care of you, and that's the path you want. I've
Yeah.
worked with all these girls when I worked in nightclubs for years with these bottle service girls. They retire with a rich older guy, and they know what they want. But that's not the wholesome girl how we were raised that we want. That's going to be a mom and that want to instill morals into your kids and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what
That's
do you?
fact, dude. My
there's
ex,
no reason. to
my
fucking-
ex left, broke up with me. She wasn't expecting to fall in love with me. She did. We dated for a year. She's older. She's 32. I was
Yeah.
27 at the time. And right at, she was like, we just want different things and this and that. And she was afraid to break up with me. And then she thought a 4-year age gap was a big difference.
Yeah.
She immediately dated Jeremy Piven, who's 57 and she's 32. That's 25. So 25 isn't, but 4 years, I just goes to show you and I had the closure of what you're after, which is money and status.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is
that's-
insane.
but that's
and like the fact that I would even want a woman like that raising my kids or whatnot.
You don't.
Like,
You were just doing it for ego and for fucking status for yourself. You wanted people like a funny thing about guys is you want it until you get a little bit older. I don't care as much now because now I've dated every type of person that I know what's important in a relationship. But like when I was your age, I wanted a girlfriend that were like, I want all my friends to want to fuck my girlfriend.
yeah.
I want them all. Like,
I can't.
If my friend doesn't want to fuck my girlfriend, then she can't be my girlfriend. You know what I mean? Like, I need all my friends to be like, "Oh, dude, she's hot." I'm like, "Yeah, dude, yeah."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you want that, but then you're like, "This is stupid." And then she's going with Jeremy, who's like, he's got his own issues, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
like,
why it was just like, I was like, fuck you. It was just hurt. I was
Yeah,
like, why am I not enough, you know? But
yeah.
it was just different
Well, I mean,
stages
you
of
were
life.
on Entourage, so I mean, that's
Yeah,
part of it.
that's
you
it.
know?
Maybe I wasn't already gold.
But I mean, he's not fucking, like she's dating him. Like, how serious is that? You know, like he's not trying to settle down with her.
That's
either.
what I'm saying. Like,
You
you,
know what I
honestly
mean?
thought, like,
He's
she
probably
had
having
no time
fun
to waste.
too. He's having fun too. He's
Yeah.
in LA having a great time and probably gets to meet so many women, you know?
Yeah. Before we wrap this up, anything you want to plug? We're going to Tampa Improv next week. That should be fun.
Yeah, when's this episode?
Oh, the way after the show.
Um,
how do you think I'm going to do? Let's like actually, and then we'll fucking cut back to it.
I mean, I think you'll do fine, right? I mean, you're just gonna host and do what are you gonna do? 10 minutes, 12
I like
minutes?
10.
10? Yeah, you'll do 10
maybe
and
12,
then Anthony's gonna go up. I probably need to find another comic to really get the show going.
if you want.
I'm just
Benny.
kidding.
Oh,
Wait, what?
Benny would do it.
He's not gonna fly there for free.
I can.
He's doing his own gigs.
You can take care. No, he's not.
I thought he does the road and sells tickets.
No, he's not on tour. No, I like he went on a headline tour one time, like after the show and shit. But yeah, I think if you want Benny could. Yeah,
I mean, I feel bad. I mean, I just can't pay. Like, we can only pay you and Anthony.
yeah. I mean, well, I'll hit him up and see.
Yeah.
Because he could just go Indianapolis to Tampa and then back here because he was going to come back here
Oh, really?
on Tuesday. But we'll figure it out. But anything, yeah. What's the name of your podcast? Tampa Improv coming up.
I got
wait, your fucking tour. I mean, your special.
Oh yeah.
Jam in the Van, the taping.
Jam in
dude.
the Van, December 9th. If you guys want, hit us up for tickets. There's 2 shows. I need about 100 people for each show.
I'm there.
And I think the first show is doing well. The second show, I need more people. And just going to try to capture 30, 40 minutes of hopefully we just capture something special. And then we will put it out in the new year, probably like who knows? I don't know how long it will take to edit and stuff, but that will be a lot of the new stuff I do and I just want to erase it and start over.
What's it called?
What will
The special?
I don't know.
It's called. I don't know. You don't know yet.
No, I don't know what I'll call it yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why Jam in the Van?
They're producing it for free. So
Oh,
they're
let's
kind of
go.
taking care of me. And then I'm going to self-release it on YouTube and then do the whole, like, just reach out and see who's going to market it for me. You know, hopefully I got some people that will take care of it. And, you know, hopefully we can get at least 100K on it.
Let's go.
That's like a good goal.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. You know, I just want to, for me, it's like, I'm over the bits. So I want to write again.
Oh.
Because I'm not writing. Like, you write a little bit, but like when you're doing your thing, you're not writing. You're polishing your material. So it's like I have my act.
Would you take a hiatus and not even perform for a couple months to write?
No, just straight up riff. I'll go on stage and just straight
Oh,
up,
okay.
let's go. Like, and then I'll write on stage.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And I have backup jokes. Like I have like 5 ideas to like go on stage with now that I
okay.
know like do okay. So like I'm ready to like start building a new hour.
Yeah.
But I just want to get rid of. They're like there's a chunk, like the first 15 to 20 I'm doing right now is like the 10 is like only like 6 months old that I enjoy doing, and then like there's another 10 that I enjoy doing sometimes, and then there's another 10 that's like 4 years old that I dread doing.
Yeah.
And then there's probably like another 5 that I'm like that. And then there's like one joke that I've had for 10 years that I'm throwing in there. But like a lot of that stuff, it's just I can get so bored performing it.
Before we go, can we just do a quick kind of Kill Tony-esque segment that you have a minute and to say your best joke?
No.
Okay, cool. Thank you for tuning in, Michael Lenochi. Thanks for coming on, buddy.
Thanks for having
Jam
me.
in the Van December, as well as
December 9th.
Or how do we follow you?
In the description, there's gonna have all my handles and stuff, but it's at Michael Lenochi just on everything.
Yeah.
And then slide in, and if you want to
Slide in and ask them to go to Target. you know?
Yeah, if you if you want to come to a show, come out. And you know what? Nice guy. Glad I got to know him. And people are just misunderstood, like myself. So if that's all it is, man. Never judge a book by its cover, unless it's
That's just me, because he's
Unless
been
it's
judging
him.
me all the whole time. Thanks for the tips. Thanks for coming on. That's it for Smoochie Town.
I've been on the road, I've been doing shows. Now we in